Hey everybody, welcome back to Hustle House.
Hey there.
Hey, last week we did a video on a 1968 Plymouth Satellite, and it ain't hit the comment section yet, but I can just imagine that y'all's going to be begging for some Mopar content. I know I would be. So what we did was we drug out a 1967 Barracuda from the depths of the parking barn, the metal building back out there.
The shed.
We drug it in here from out there for y'all. Little backstory on this thing is me and Sweet Mama went to somewhere. We went a long ways off and we got this thing off of a good feller. I'll tell you what, it's hard to look at and hard to stand around because it
smelled like cats.
It smelled like cat pee. All right, it was in a little building that was full of cats that peed a lot on the car and in it.
Yeah, I never had a putty knife so much in my life.
Yep, so we had to scrape all the funk off of it, and we did some rust repair, and we threw a good running 318 automatic in it.
Full floor.
Full floor. Sweet Mama redid some of the interior, and we put a headliner, carpet, seats. We did her up inside. Got it to where we could run it and drive it, without brakes, of course. And what to do? It left us down.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It pulled itself out of the garage, and that was about it. Couldn't even take a ride around the parking lot. So we just got disgusted, and we just shoved it in the big brown building.
It needed to air out for about a year or so anyways.
Yeah. Well, as disfortune would have it, we might need to unload this thing. So we're going to maybe spice it up, fix it up a little bit, maybe get her moving on its own power, and
a little bling bling, maybe some love.
Yeah, we'll probably hawk it after that. So, yeah, if any of you guys are feeling froggy, we could use a hand. All right, let's get it on. Heave, Sweet Mama. Me and you, mostly you. Holy moly! All right, let's hold it there a second. Yep. 1967 Barracuda fastback, baby. I've wanted one of these since I was just a young dude, just collecting magazines, you know. And well, I finally got my hands on one, and not the best example. Just saying. She's a little chewy. It's a little better than what it was when we got it, but to be honest, even as chewy as it is, it's got good bones, nice solid frame rails and whatnots. Just that cat urine just pretty much did her in there till we got a hold of it. We put some dog legs in the fenders, and the doors and whatnots were all good. Basically just the fenders. We did replace the cowl in it. Yeah, I kind of remember me and the old man was working on this cowl. We lost him a while back, but yeah, a little fond memory with that cowl there. We put a full floor in it from AMD or someone, which really made it a nice car after the floor was in it. Quarters, well, they're pretty much shot, but they look all right from 150 yards away. So we left them alone. New ones, well, they weren't in the budget, you know. Deck lid, pretty much shot up underneath here, but lucky for us that that panel covers it. Bumpers, junk.
That back window was a heck of a time.
Yeah, we had the windows out of it, me and Sweet Mama. We had a lot of fun getting the windows in it and getting them sealed. But we did it. We overcame. Nobody lost any digits or nothing either. So, yeah, whoa, look, Mama. Flip top gas cap. Shoot.
It's lovely.
Yep, that's Mopar right there. A little aluminum slot action here. They look kind of neat, but they ain't gonna make the cut. We got something much cooler than that for this thing.
Oh, no.
Still got the small bolt pattern. Put us a little dog leg on this side. Mirror there. There's the interior. That's what that looks like up in there. Sweet Mama worked feverishly to get this interior squared away. Getting the smell out of it was almost an act of Congress, or like magic.
Very challenging.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wire reel was my best friend for almost months.
Yeah, we stripped everything down in here to bare metal, and we painted over it with Rust-Oleum to get the stink out of it.
It worked.
It worked. I think we put all new weather stripping in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yep.
new carpet on the back. Oh, I forgot. Lovely. Put that back together.
Hey, been off the road since '87. What's that? 350 years, something like that. So it's been off the road a while. Front end, well, it's not so good. She's got a lot of mud in it here and there and everywhere else. But I can't imagine a better one on the car. You know, it fits the car to a T, and we just like it the way it is somehow. You know, we just love junk for some reason.
Might be able to get away with calling it patina. Maybe.
We bought this thing without an engine or transmission in it, and we landed a half decent deal on a pretty good running 318. We just threw some valve seals in it, and we pitched her down in here after we painted this with rattle cans, and we drug an automatic transmission out of the Connex out there that's been out there for decades and decades and decades.
I was against that one.
Yeah, you tried to talk me out. New one wasn't in the budget, guys, not even then. But I'm pretty sure that the converter was full of stink bugs or something, because it moved about 5 feet before it quit moving altogether. So that's the heart and the meat and taters of this video. Is we're going to try to figure out what's up with that transmission. Probably have to pull it out and see if we can pull it apart and fix it. Or I have another just as every bit as disgusting transmission laying out there in the Connex, you know, maybe.
Yay, we can go through $75 worth of transmission fluid again.
Yeah, we'll pluck another one out and be disappointed when it's junk too. But that's where we're at. There's no sense doing anything else until we can get this thing moving under its own power. So
that's right.
I say we get it on the lift and start doing some diagnosing, sweet mama.
All right then, let's get the prying.
I know nothing about transmissions.
What?
Well, a little, barely enough to be dangerous. But we're going to sweat through it, you know, with minimal knowledge, education,
Google,
or patience. So here we go. Well, I figure we'll start diagnosing by checking the fluid level. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but the fluid's brand new. It doesn't have but 10 feet on it, to be honest. My thought is we'll check this thing out, see how much fluid's in it. She is way up here, guys. And we'll get this engine fired up and get it running, and we'll see if the fluid level goes down. If the fluid level goes down when we fire it up, then that means that the pump's running. You know what I mean? And the converter's working and the pump's pumping. Something else happened, like a band came off or something. But if the fluid level stays the same, that means the converter's jacked up, or the pump's bad, or there's a plug in it somewhere. So I guess the first thing we got to do is get it running. She ain't been running for a little bit, but I'm pretty confident it won't take much. Well, take more than my fingers can handle, I'll tell you that much.
Well, you might have to go swipe some more parts back that you stole off her to begin with.
That's a problem.
Borrowed,
I
whatever.
can't remember what all we stole from this thing, but it was more than one or two things. So.
Well, I remember a coil wire. I forget what you even borrowed it for.
You're right, coil wire. Looks like the voltage regulator's missing. Battery obviously is missing.
That they share.
I think we borrowed that negative cable there off of a backhoe or something for this thing. She's a little extreme.
Jeez.
Look at
He ain't
that.
scared to use you, is he?
I'm talking high performance here with that there carburetor, sweet mama. I don't even know what that is. 650, 750, 1250, I don't know. It's got 50 after it. So I don't think we need the regulator to get her fired up, but I am going to have to dig up a coil wire, sweet mama.
Yeah.
And a battery. Daggone, what is it with batteries around here? All right, well, we found the coil wire out there in the burn pile, and I don't think the neighbor will mind, you know, battery just disappearing while he's not looking. But hey, look at that, mama. Coil wire works just fine. Just fine. What do we got here? That's wired up. This looks like everything's wired off the key. It's not direct wired, so I'm sure there's probably no gas in it. Probably have to fill the bowls up and hook the battery up, and I think she'll be ready to turn over, sweet mama. Make sure we got some Earl in it. Well, full enough. All right then, let me find the splash of fuel.
How about the antifreeze? It's been sitting outside the whole time.
We run everything hot around here anyhow. Looks like the mice have been eating pretty good. Yep, they've been dumping their ashes all over the place up in here. Probably up in that brand new headliner, causing havoc. Ooh, easy. Big drinker.
Dang on, honey. Look like we're fully loaded with money.
I don't know what's going on there. She got an air bleed in her, air blocking or something. All right, I probably have sweet mama twist on that key, and I'll just stand out here and watch everything fly.
You want this in case it catches a fire?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd hate to miss a moment.
There we go.
You and your Mopars.
Well, you probably have to use the inner handle, sweet mama. She's still hillbilly.
You know, is
a little
this
bit.
why the Dukes of Hazzard's always climbed inside?
Yes, ma'am. Hey, look at that. It's got dome light. Shoot. This thing's road ready.
Ah, racing seats. Mm-hmm. That's right.
They'll fall in love in there. Oh, well.
Didn't do nothing.
Ain't my fault. This thing's got open headers.
What?
Yep, be prepared.
Oh my.
This baby sounds like a pro stalker too. It sounds pretty good.
A racehorse.
Good.
Come on now.
Thought I seen some sparkage back in there. Get her nice and finger tight here. Tighter than what it was. Oh, that one's loose too. Shoot. Let me get a wrench. That's right. You sit around here, you're going to be cannibalized at one point or another, you know. There just ain't enough parts and pieces to go around here. Little fella. What's a guy like me supposed to do? What's a stripped? What's going on here? Wow. Yep. They couldn't have been no looser. All right, sweet mama. Take two.
Ready to go?
Yep, ma'am. All right, get your peepers in here and have a look. All right, with it running, our fluid level is just right below out of pint. It's a little bit low running, but it's not enough to keep it from moving, all right? Which tells me is it's pumping the fluid. So it would, I guess, maybe point to maybe a blockage in there, or maybe a band actuator or servo, or the band broke, or maybe the pump pressure's not enough. I don't know, just enough to pump the pan dry, not enough to do anything else. So I think our next best bet would be to maybe look up the stock spec on what the pump pressure should be and figure out where to check it at. And so we'll jack it up, we'll put a gauge on it, and we'll fire it up again and see what kind of pressure it's making. Well, let's have a look underneath this thing. It's been a while since we've been under here, Mama. I don't know if we ever had a little lift, did we? I don't remember.
No, this is back when we were renting the garage. We didn't get a lift.
Yeah, we didn't have the privilege. It looks like somebody put the wrong nut there on the ball joint. I don't think we ever had that off, but we did put that outer tie rod end on. It was all bent up. Used set of headers. They look like they're holding up pretty good out there in the elements. There's that 4-spoken transmission. I was thinking maybe a line was plugged up or something, but we just got the line just plumbed one into the other over here because, well, I couldn't afford a transmission line at the time. So that tranny's kind of clean looking, you know.
Made that look clean.
Doesn't look half bad. But hey, one of these ports here, you can hook into one of these somewhere, and you can check your line pressure on your pump. So we're going to do this little research and we're going to hook up to that. But anywho's, hey, look at that floor. That baby is brand new, front to back. Yes, man.
And it's super solid.
Yeah, inner rockers are nice in it.
And we didn't undercoat it.
No, we didn't. Frame rails are, you know, pretty decent. Torsion cross member's pretty nice. Keep on working back. There was a little bit of funkiness back here, I think. Don't remember how or where, but I think in the trunk floor above the gas tank or something that's not even visible. So we're going to pretend that there's nothing wrong and just say that there is nothing wrong. Back frame rails are nice, even back here by the shackles. Trunk floor, pretty good. Hey, it looks like I might have had a hitch on it at one time. That's where they used to hook them at, right in the trunk pan.
Nice.
Oh, look. Looks like her shackle was missing a bolt there. That's good to see. Oh, it's missing a little bushing in too. Yep.
Sure that wasn't us?
Need some attention. That looks like something I'd do. It's just got a little 7 1/4, whatever that is. Just a little tiny feller in there. We plan to do the 8 3/4, all that, you know, but it ain't gonna happen. And I don't know if you noticed in the intro, this baby here's got she's got a little wheel wobble to it. What happened there was I tried to take his wheel off and the whole stud turned. So we got it loosened up and I tried to put pressure on it and put it on a bind. Jammed a screwdriver in there and broke it off in there. So now I can't, now I got to pull the pan off and I got to pull the axle out so I can get in there and cut the stud. I made a real mess for myself. So that's where we're at with that.
That's probably why it was so easy to shove it outside and just forget it.
Yeah, it didn't take me long to figure out that I was done with it. Hey, the trunk extensions are like, that one's not real good, but that one's pretty good, you know? That one there's seen better days, but, oh.
I think it looks fine.
Look at that shackle. That baby's all bent up. Somebody was pulling on that with a tow chain. This ain't this thing's first rodeo. But, hey, we get the transmission fixed. We're going to have to pull that axle. We're going to have to put some brakes on it. It has none. There is a new master cylinder on it, but none of the brake hardware or anything in the wheels are any good. It's going to need all new brake lines. I just want to watch YouTube, honey. I don't feel like working on this thing. But I'm going to, nonetheless. All right, let's have a look at this tranny. Well, what do we come up with, you ask? Well, right here, I believe, is pressure port. On the 727 on the passenger side in the middle between the two servos. And what we're going to do, we're going to pull that port out, pull that port plug out. And I've got an old Matco pressure gauge that I'm going to wind up on there. We'll fire it up and see what it says. By all indications, we should be around 50, 55 or so. And right around 80 some, 90, somewhere in there, whenever the passing gear is supplied. So I guess that's what we'll shoot for. Nope. See, I can't twist it.
Oh, it's you driving it home.
Look what we can do. Shoot. This stuff's easy, you know? Get her tight. We don't need the transmission fluid blowing all over the open headers, you know?
Almost victory, huh?
Getting there another turn or two and I'll call her good. All right, let me direct that off of the immense heat of the header here somehow. Make it easy on a fella or nothing, you know?
A little rerouting.
A little rerouting out of the line of the fire, literally. And I'll get this thing back out of here where the transmission will blow up and take my head off down to my shoulders. You know?
Remind me to stand back and use zoom.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I just smashed the gauge with my finger.
I was going to say you over tightened and stripped it, didn't you?
I'm working too hard and breaking stuff, so what I'm doing.
Shouldn't you have some of that white tape on there?
White tape. I don't even know what that means.
Alrighty then. Daggone, I just don't know where all you're going.
Well, I'm trying to be nifty. Truth be told.
Fancy, is that what you come up with?
Proud of me? Yes, ma'am. All right, so we're looking for 50 something, right around 60 at idle. And if we're able to get in there and put it in gear, passing gear or something. Problem I got is the thing ain't running real good, you know? So I think I'll be up and down this ladder about 50 times just trying to get it running long enough to get a measure, to get a reading.
Nice.
Position here.
That looks really high. It's steep.
Spent this evening Rocky Mountain way. Couldn't get much higher. All right, sweet mama.
Love cakes.
What's going on here? How far to get, mama?
I only see these little tiny teeth right here.
Okay, well that's not nearly enough now, is it?
Well, you didn't really have it running long enough, did you? How long you gotta have it running?
Well, it should be instantaneous. So, what we got is somehow it's pulling fluid out of the pan, but it's not making any pressure. So, what could that mean?
Junk!
Could mean it's junk. You know? I'm not knowledgeable enough with them to know what that means. So, I think the best thing we can do since we got a late start is just maybe go home and interweb it and do some research and start back here in about 2.5 seconds. Hey, Mama.
Hey, baby.
Well, another day, another debacle. Turns out, as many of y'all probably already know, you're supposed to check the thing in low gear or some kind of gear, not park. I'm still learning. So, yeah, not a training guy at all, guys. We're going to put this thing in low gear. We're going to fire back up. Sweet Mom's going to read the pressure. If we have any line pressure at all, we'll activate the kick down and see if it does anything. So, that's the test I've been given to perform.
I'm sure it'll get a speeding ticket. It'll move.
It's full of stink bugs. I know it is. It's got to be. Sharp object in my hand while I stand on the ladder. It's about ready to fall apart.
Like I said, don't look too safe up there, love. All I gotta do is watch this fancy little gauge. That doesn't sound too complicated. Love cakes, you're almost on 120.
Really?
Yeah.
The whole time?
Yeah. It went straight up to, I think, 90. Let me see. Yeah, it went straight up to 90, and then it creeped the last couple seconds up to the 8 on one side, 120 on the other.
But that's a good sign. The pump's working, converter's working. So we'll go crunch the numbers and see if that's all good. And if it is, then we'll hook up another gauge and we'll start reading at the servos, see if they're getting any signal. We might get lucky, Mama. I'm still going to stink bug go.
Doink.
Are you done licking your lips? Can I speak now? Thank you very little. All right, peoples. We're not going to pretend we know it all like people with them locking pliers and stuff. This is what we're using. I don't know the name of the site or anything, but it's telling me to one of these checks we can do is a line pressure at the rear servo. It's easy to get to. And we can use a 100-pound gauge.
That looks reliable.
It's not real good. A little caution for you guys if you're going to mess with this kind of stuff. I think the reverse, however you check the reverse, can go up to like 300 pounds. So you don't want like one of these little gauges on the wrong spot. Do your research before you do what we're pretending to do here. So we're going to put this on the rear servo. Saying here it should be, follow the line pressure, it's in about 3 pounds. So we actually had like 75 pounds at idle. I don't know why. Maybe something's plugged up. I don't know. We're supposed to have a maximum of like 60. So we're just going to keep chasing it and see what. A restriction would make place. Or a restriction would make sense, right? You know, a little high on the pressure. Stuff's not something. We want to check the servo. All right, well, this looks like a servo, and this is the rear of the car. So I'm going to call this the rear servo. I'm going to take this out. We're going to hook this here gauge to it, and then the exhaust is going to melt the nylon line right in half.
You didn't even look at a picture?
Well. Oh, defeated already. Oh, she's bleeding a little. Look at that.
That's not too bad.
This is easy. We should have been transmission technicians, honey.
What?
All right.
Well, it's a simple little installation.
For your viewing pleasure, honey. We'll fire it up, and these should be within a few pounds of each other. Okay?
Alrighty.
And if you see fluctuation, that's me up there messing with the kickdown linkage. So.
Sounds simple enough.
Here we go.
Climbing to the top.
Here we go. What goes up will probably fall.
Let's hope it don't come down just yet.
I lost my starter. Oh, here it is. Found it. Okay, so it is working, but it's not reading the same.
That's probably because one gauge is smaller than the other.
Well, this one's starting off at like,
A head start.
it's got a head start at like 25 or something, you know? So I'm not really going for accuracy like we ever do, but I'm just saying if we got port pressure places. So we got pressure at the servo, correct? And it's doing the same stuff.
Oh yeah, they're like within so many little inches of each other.
Okay, so the investigation continues. All right, this one's a little tougher to get at. So we're going to check the front servo this time. And to do that, it's got to be idle in drive instead of low gear. It says front servo return port. I only see one port. I don't know if it's like return. I'm just going to plug it on and see what happens. What I'm trying to do here is like the servos, I believe, activate the bands. If I'm right or wrong, I don't know. I think they work the bands, all right? So if the stuff that works the band's working it, maybe we got a busted band in there, or maybe the band adjuster fell off, or something mechanical, like the main shaft would have broke somehow. I don't know. It's got a wee little bit of a noise, like up in the bell housing area when I'm up top. It might be a header. It might, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. All we can do right now is just keep gathering useless information. I'm sure there's somebody out there laughing at us right now and knows exactly what's going on, and we're just clueless.
Yeah, but I can't hear them from here, so.
That's right. We can't hear you, fella.
Okay, if I start laughing at you, you're gonna hear me.
Daggone it. I just can't work with this.
Now she's all mad.
Don't get mad at me. I'm the one getting mistreated around here. One to the line pressure port and one to the front servo release port. That's where we were. Held the engine speed at about 1600, which was probably about where we're at. And it was already in drive. Released the brakes so the wheels can turn. Well, ain't no brakes and wheels didn't turn, so we're good there. I guess you just wait for it to get in park, maybe, or drive. Maybe it's not shifting itself. I don't know.
Does it say anything about being hot or cold or anything else?
It doesn't say.
Read?
It doesn't say. The front servo should read the same as line pressure within about 3 pounds. Yeah, I'm going with there's no pressure at all in the front servo.
Just doing. Blowing
That's a good one. Man, are y'all in for a treat. You're going to see how Hustle House reuses transmission fluid today. I'm just going to crack her loose and I'm going to put her in there, you know. We're going to pull the pan off of it because I can't find any information anywhere of why there wouldn't be any pressure to the front servo. So
I ain't got no fancy pictures to go off of.
no fancy pictures. And so there is some air pressure tests, like you can put air pressure in after you take the valve body out and see if you get some, see if you can make the servos run, you know. So we got pressure, and if the servos work, then there's something in the valve body, or like a band's broke or something, you know. So we'll know a little more when we get the in the valve body out, and then we'll look at something we don't know anything about. And those coming out.
That would put me to sleep. Sounds like nice rain.
Hey, before you pass judgment, guys, this fluid has 0 miles. Probably like 20 feet to be exact on it. So it's like brand new. And, well, you know, another case of transmission fluid. This ain't the budget. Call me a cheapskate.
Tightwad.
Call me a fool. Call me a tightwad.
10 or 2 coats of paint. I can go on and on, baby.
Just ain't got it, man. Just ain't got her to lose, you know? No way this is gonna spill all over me.
Oh, that thing's gonna fall right in that bucket. You're just gonna lose it, mister.
Straight downward. Catch every drip. Could you imagine me doing this and not getting one drop of it on the floor?
Yeah, and you
that
can't
possible?
put oil in the vehicle without getting it all over the manifolds.
I can't eat without getting stuff all over my face, you know?
I love it.
I can't wash a car and then, like, somewhere's a pothole. I'm going to hit it. Just the kind of pants I wear, guys, you know?
I think the bucket's good. I'm waiting for the pan to fall off.
Well, ooh, here it comes, Mama.
Oh, you gonna put your hand on it? Jeez.
Okay, here it goes.
Oh, honey, that's not too bad at all.
I
You
did
didn't
all right.
wear it.
I did okay.
Yeah, you did.
Look what we can do, honey. Yeah.
So proud of you.
Shoot. I'm going to do that again someday.
What?
Yep. Have a gawk here, everybody. Here's the rear servo, which seemed like we had good pressure to it. The front one, not so much. Nothing going on there. The release servo, I guess there's a pressure side and a release side. Maybe they're both applied at the same. I don't know what's going on. I shouldn't even talk when I don't know what I'm talking about, yeah? Let me clean this epic disaster up here. I'll pull that valve body out. Why did I grab the most gigantic screwdriver in the box to take the smallest screws on the planet out? Why do I do that? Why do I torment myself like that? I'm just a glutton for self-destruction, you know? I mean, I ain't real super nice, you know? There is a little bit of funk in it. But keep in mind, this thing sat in the Connex for about 20 years, you know? And torque converter did too, with nothing covering the end of it. We just jammed it in there.
Yeah, you did.
Wonder why it ain't working.
I wasn't happy about that one.
Perfect. I'll be using that again. Valve body time. Oh, I guess we'll pull this valve body, and to do that, we got to get these 2 levers off of here. This ought to be really nice.
Who's gonna go after it? Soiled it.
Why didn't I see that coming?
Go deep.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right then.
That should never rust.
Yeah. Never seen it coming. Why? Why didn't I see it coming? I do the same thing over again because that's what I do.
Maybe if we move the trash can.
Ring finger is raw with a big burn hole in it. So that feels good up in there getting smashed around.
I would totally have to do a socket. Ain't no way I'd be doing a wrench.
Yeah, well, socket's like 12 feet away from me, so it's gonna have to be a wrench today. I hope it's loose enough. Probably ain't. But I don't feel like turning it no more, so maybe just prying harder would fit my interest better, you know? Oh, that was a close one, Mama. All right.
The reflexes there, babe.
Uh-huh. So we take this off, take all these bolts out, and then we got the park rod in there we'll have to manipulate, I think is the word.
That's the way to get the job done quickly.
Oh, look out! Save yourself.
Good thing something caught it. Why don't you just let that thing fall in there too?
I ain't done yet, Mama. This E-clip is going to disappear for sure across the garage somewhere.
Oh, if that goes in there, we're both getting it.
Yep. Oh, how's that for precision, Mama?
Professional. Boing.
Pull that down out of there. That was easy. There's the aforementioned valve body. She's got a little bit of crusty crud up in there, but nothing spectacular, nothing worse than normal, you know. Get every last drip of that red gold out of there. Looks like our bands are intact. So in theory, we can pressurize some of these ports here and watch the bands do their thing. We might pull this servo apart right here.
Why do we want to do that?
Well, that's the one that's not working. So I don't know if it's, I think we pressurize one of these ports here. This one's probably the front one, this one's probably the back one, and see if they work. And if that's the case, then we have to figure out why it's not getting pressure to it. So that would be, again,
So like 5 different questions.
above my pay grade, you know? We'll have to rip this thing apart and look for stink bugs or something. Yeah, you might want to take cover, sweet mama. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
What that's doing is applying, that's actually like a brake shoe, that back band. There's a drum that spins in it. This activates, it's like a brake shoe, grabs it and keeps it from spinning, you know?
Oh yeah,
You get it, Mama?
that's pretty cool.
All
I
right,
like
let's
it.
do the same thing up front here, see if it works. See it grabbing it? Okay, now that's the one that we didn't have any pressure to. Either I'm doing the test wrong or we're not getting any fluid to that port there. Obviously, if we were getting pressure to it, it would have worked, right? Oh. That's the front clutch apply. That's the rear clutch apply. They're both applying. There's says to have it'll have a thud, and it sounded like a thud to me.
In the face! In the face!
Wow, what happened?
We're starting to accumulate a little bit of a mess here, Mama. Don't feel stuck, you know.
Dang on, just rip it right out.
Just tear it out by its hair, you know. We can tear this valve body open and look in it, but I don't know what I'm looking at, obviously. I don't know. I'm just standing here staring because I don't feel like taking it apart, but I think we probably have to take it apart. Okay. Going into the land of the unknown here. I know nothing about what I'm doing. But I'm doing it anyhow. Hey guys, how are you ever going to learn if you don't tear into something you don't know nothing about? You know what I mean? You're just going to like let the next guy take care of your problems for you, you know?
Sure, certainly.
That ain't how America was built, folks.
Well,
Yeah.
what about the fact that
You can't depend on other people to take care of all your problems. You just got to jump in there and you got to figure it out, you know? Look at that. That looks fine. I'll put that back in there before I forget where it goes.
that looks super cute?
Uh-huh. I don't know what that is, but it's better get back in there. Yep. Well,
You soiled it.
I already lost control of the situation. Just happened. You just seen it right here. I might as well take this off. See if something shoots out at me. Okay, what's all this stuff?
Oh, why do you gotta touch it?
Well, I gotta look in there.
Look
You
for
know?
some beads or something that you're like messing with.
Gotta look in there. This is the middle one. This is the right one.
Oh my.
Ooh, that one looks funny. It looks different, doesn't it? I put this one on the right. Mm-hmm. This guy here. It's stuck. Found it. There's a problem. Maybe.
It's just fine. It's just telling you to leave me alone.
How's it coming in the shooting hour like the other ones did?
Stay off.
Okay, well, we'll leave him in there, man. If that's the way he wants to play it. Might as well take all these out and get the little ball bearings flying all through the garage.
Oh, no.
You know? You've all been there before, playing with these things. Should have called AMCO.
I was thinking you should have called the transmission shop.
Or AMCO, which is a transmission
Is that what that is?
Okay, here we go. There's a plate under this. I think this will trap the balls and alls.
You just took the plate off. Now it looks like a maze.
There it is. See? See? That's not that scary looking, is it? Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of funk in it. Not too bad. Too bad.
Not too bad for the years it's been sitting.
Yeah. A little speck there. I don't see anything here that confronts me. Alright. Lots of areas of sludge in here. We'll clean these out. And I think we're going to try it again, Mama. I know we're not that lucky. So.
Maybe.
We might be. You never know.
Every now and then a dog gets a bone, right?
Mm-hmm. I'll just scrape all this out and spray it out and set myself up for better disappointment.
Get all little tiny cracks and crevices.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to try real hard, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Try real hard.
You're missing that big center one. It's bugging me. Yeah, baby, yeah.
That's what we can do, Mom.
Oh, look at that. It's almost worth breaking out another can for.
We got another can?
Doink.
Well, that cleaned up pretty good, sweet Mama.
I cleaned up like brand spanking new.
Shit, maybe a little funk in the corners.
No, dirt right
A
there.
little bit of crud there. Mm-hmm.
She good.
I think it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
We got that. We got the tin cleaned up. Now I'm going to have to disassemble and inspect that mess. Yeah, baby. That's the meat and taters of the whole thing right there.
Mm-hmm. Is that a fire truck out there?
It's a fire truck.
What the heck? So it finally came out, huh?
That thing just fell out by itself now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And watch, there's probably some fancy way of it going back in there, a
Yeah,
little twist
probably
and
some
turn.
kind of witchcraft you got to perform to get that back in there. All right, we're going to attempt to clean this. I'm going to let Sweet Mama video document where all this stuff is falling out of before it falls.
Okay.
Looks like we got us a ball here. Ball, 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 ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 balls, right? Is that what you're seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't make me put you in the car.
Go lay down.
Come on, good girl. You did your job. Yes, you did. You protect us. You make sure nobody's out there. Good girl. Ain't nobody sneaking around. There you go. All right. Go get a sippy poo and then go lay down. What? That's right. Dude.
Get to walking, sister.
Look what she goes straight for.
Yep.
She's trained.
She worked up a terrible thirst, screaming her lungs out.
Ah, that's my girl.
You know what? Even if we do find out what's the matter with this, it still ain't going to work when we're done with it, you know?
That's why I'm wondering why
We'll put
you
it
were
together
doing it,
wrong. But, hey, we're triers. We try, you know? That's what triers do.
I try to avoid it. That doesn't work.
Different kind of trying, honey.
I can hear her licking her jaws. So cute.
She's such a Gorgo.
She's guard dog Gorgo. You're so mean. Maybe a Gorgette, but not a Gorgo.
Tear your valve body in a million pieces.
Mm-mm.
You gonna trust it to take you to California? I think not.
Looks great.
Brand new. Took a minor amount of funk out of it. I don't see anything that would have kept it from working.
No, but sure looks like a brand new part from AutoZone you just bought or something.
Shoot, we'll put this on eBay if it don't work. All right then, let's go throw her back in. Ooh,
They're carry on.
all right then, here we go.
Look at you making a mess. I can't tell if you're trying to fix one or make one.
Well, all the same in the end. Anybody else reuse her floor dry? Guilty. And look, it still kind of looks clean. It's been used like 5 times, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It dries out. That'll be fine.
Well, if you're all invited to this party, this might be the most miserable part of the whole job right here. Just trying to get this thing back on here. You know?
Might not be too bad.
I'm calling it. This little clip's going to go flying across the garage. For sure. For shizzle. First attempt. First try. That's all I'm saying. First try.
Should I let this go? Just like break? Okay. Oh, all right.
Oh, I need that big spring. Where's it at?
Trash can, maybe? There you go.
Look at that. That's what we can do.
Now the rest is off again, huh? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Twice.
I like the sound of that.
See, that's why it looks nice.
Did it twice.
NASCAR would be proud of you, baby.
These kind of tools make me feel nifty. What we got for a filter here? Yeah, just wipe that off. Wipe the dirt off.
You're really doing this, are you?
Jam it right back up in there. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, you want to thank me, honey. When this transmission doesn't work, and I didn't just spend $50 on the fluid and filter change for this thing.
I will love you.
Yes, yes you will.
I'll make you 2 sandwiches.
Shoot, we'll get to hit the dollar menu at the Burger King. Okay.
Wow, that don't look that bad at all. What the?
Hey, you know what tickles my feel goods?
Me?
Well, the other feel goods.
No what?
Whenever you got the pan gasket that holds the screws in for it, you know?
Nah.
Yeah, it makes life a lot easier. I will, however, start it with a power tool, so I can greatly increase my odds of cross-rigging. I think out of reusing everything that we're reusing, the thing I like reusing the least is this gasket because it's like a rubber one. And they don't really seal so good when they're new, you know? Kind of wish that was a nice cork gasket, but hey.
That's what you got.
It just needs to work well enough to see if it works, you know? If it works, I might think about putting a new fluid change in it. Probably not, but I'll think about it. Yeah. Yep, I think that's how it went. Yep.
Oh. That makes sense.
I like that a little bit. Do you? All right, let me try to tighten that up.
Where's your other half of that?
Let me go find it.
Our baby piglet's having a nightmare. It's okay, girlie. It's just kitty cats chasing you in the field.
You know, somebody to think of.
What?
How do you get that fluid from in there into there?
It looks like a blood donor.
The things we do, huh?
Better put a wee little bit of baby one in there.
Well, I just ain't got enough hands to do all these tasks. Look at that.
Oh, you're gonna be here all day for that little hole.
We could almost stood 2 holes, huh? Mm-hmm. You want to stab it again?
Sure. Get a hold of it?
I think I do.
Ready? Mm-hmm. Let me at her.
Ooh, and you already got 2 holes in it.
Yeah.
Now you got 3.
That's like a meat packaging tray kind of thing.
Is this a garage or a butcher's shop?
Maybe you should just put like a coat hanger on top and just let it hang.
I don't know. This is mighty uncomfortable, though. I can promise you that. I'm afraid to lose it to look cool, you know? I have to look cool when I'm almost done. I'll squeeze her out a little bit. Make life inconvenient for it for a change. Shoot.
Yep.
Did we just do something fancy, honey? All right. Let's foresee what's going to happen here. I think this transmission's in low gear. I forgot to check what gear it was in before I put it down. But if it's in low gear, hopefully this thing will fire up and the wheels will be turning. But I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're not going to be turning, all right? And I'm going to check this fluid, and it's going to be a quart low. And I'm going to trick myself into thinking, well, if I put a quart in, it'll probably take off. And it won't. So I'll waste a quart of fluid for nothing. So what's going to happen, and I'm telling you before it even happens, that fluid's going to go in there for no reason at all. All right, fingers crossed.
Daggone, honey.
Who'd have thunk it?
Turns out you might need 3 or 4 hands.
Yep.
Good thing we got cat litter under there.
Well, a couple more hands maybe, you know. Maybe next time I'll have a couple hands. Mm-hmm.
Wow, is that a whole quart or what?
Well, yeah, it was pretty much my guesstimate of a quart there. Let me address the elephant in the room and say that the wheels ain't turning. I don't know how we got pump pressure, but nothing moving, nothing turning whatsoever. The clutch packs moved under air pressure. The servos, is that what I'm thinking? They both cycled under air pressure. Didn't find no big chunks of nothing. I don't know, guys. Got a little bit of a noise there, maybe in the bell housing. I can't tell if it's maybe a collector rattling or something. But she just ain't going to do it. I think what we need to do is just cut our losses and try to put another junk transmission in tomorrow, Mama. What do you think?
Yeah, we're going to take that fluid back out and save it for the next one.
What says you, sweet Mama?
I got my bolts.
You got your bolts out?
Yeah, and it don't like me very
Bloody
much.
knuckles?
No, I don't got no bloody knuckles. I just got a little bit of boo-boos.
She's all over it. Well, it's another day. It's another debacle, as usual. Me and sweet Mom over there, we're going to take this transmission out, and I'm going to do something she's going to highly disapprove of.
Oh, no.
I'm going to put another torque converter in this transmission and put it right back in there.
What? Are you really?
We get to do it 3 times today instead of twice.
That's not our saying.
Yeah, well, hey, listen. Here's my theory, all right? The thing's pumping transmission fluid, right? We got pressure. And here's a converter right here. This converter, these ears engage the pump. You know what I mean? When this is turning, that's turning the pump and you're making pressure. But down in here is where all the action is. That's what turns the main shaft, down in there, those splines. So I'm thinking that maybe the converter's buffed up and like the main shaft's not spinning and nothing's happening because of it. You know?
Well, I'm warm and we ain't got nothing else to do, so.
All right, well, I'm gonna save us some misery. We'll take this thing out and we'll barely put it back in, like 2 bolts, and we'll give it a test run.
Okay.
If we don't get anything that's spinning right there, then we'll already be almost out anyway.
Let's test bolt the easy ones on the bottom.
Yeah, because you know why? Let me tell you why. I'm going to take that transmission out of that car right yonder, and I'm going to put it in a shed out yonder.
And it's going to get confused and you're going to do it again.
And I'm not going to know what's the matter with it, all right? I can't afford to buy another one for other projects, so I'm going to have to try to put it in something and try to figure out why it didn't work. You know what I mean? It's either now or it's the next time, you know?
I'm just going to say I hate it when you're right.
Well, I tell you.
That's twice on one video.
Yeah, I looked inside the transmission. Everything looks clean. Nothing, there's no metal. I hate to give up on it because I think it's a good transmission with a bad converter in it. Just a guess because I have no idea what I'm talking about. All right, sweet mama. We got everything up here.
Yeah, where'd you put your other bolts at?
I just threw them right there on the intake.
All right.
And we're just going to jack it up and finish her off here at the bottom.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Ooh, watch me do it, sweet mama.
You're always working hard, honey. Ah.
Look how easy this was. Hiya!
Bling, bling. Bing, bing.
Well, it's out. I did make a note pulling this out that feels like the converter wasn't coming clear back against the flex plate. Like the flex plate was away from the converter when I took all the bolts out. It's kind of weird. So hopefully it ain't galled in there or something. That would, no, she's coming. I did notice a sticker here. I don't know if that means, I don't know what that sticker is. I kind of thought that the lockup converters had a sticker on them. And this is a non-lockup transmission, so could that be something? Are we onto something there? Another green sticker here. Could it be lockup? I don't know.
That's a yard sale.
It could be like $5 or something, yeah. So we're going to try to throw another one on it and see what happens. We wasting our time, sweet mama. Is that what we're doing right now? Should we just throw that in and be done with it? What are we doing?
Well, we don't know what that one does either, so.
That one looks pretty poor inside.
At least you cleaned up the bottom and we got a little bit of a start on this one.
That one looks excellent inside.
Exactly.
All right, let me do some kicking around here.
Hey, you know what? That's not thought of. The other good thing is we won't have to take that off there if we try this one instead.
Yeah. Yeah, my back will love me for not taking that off of there.
Alrighty. What's that catastrophe?
When I said debacle, I weren't kidding. All right, here's the lowdown. Here's the skinny. All right. I think I mentioned earlier that I thought that was an older transmission in there, which it is. I think it's from the 60s, 65, early 60s. And turns out, I kind of knew, but I didn't know for sure the spline count, but that 65 transmission has like a 19 spline input shaft, and the other ones have like a 23 or something. Pulled that converter out, and it looks like somehow we got a 23 spline converter in that 19 spline transmission. Don't ask me how, because I've got other 23 or 22 spline converters. I can't get them on there. They won't fit. So best we can tell, we somehow had the wrong converter in it. When I say best we can tell, it's because the converters are full of fluid, and you can't get the fluid, you can't count them faster than the fluid, just, it's hard. So I find this converter, we were able to count, it is a 19 spline converter. And when I seen the back of it, just memories just flushed in my mind, you know. They just came back to life. Oh, probably 20 years ago or better, I used to run old Coronet on a dirt track with the 360 in it and with an automatic transmission, which I believe was that transmission. Now that I see this converter and I flip it over and I see the counterweights welded on it, I welded them counterweights on. This is a converter out of that transmission. So it does count 19. We were able to get a count on this one. Almost 100% sure that the converter that came out was like a 20-some spline. So, which would mean it wasn't spinning the input shaft, which would mean that the pump was still working, but the input shaft wasn't spinning. Maybe I'll put this in and it still won't work. I don't know. How did we get that other one in? I have no idea, man. Maybe the plate that the spline is broke. I don't know. So
Like a little collection there, honey.
Yeah, maybe it was optical illusion. Maybe this is a 19 spline and we're just counting 20 something. I don't know. But this is definitely a converter out of that. So I'm going to take these counterweights off because we can't use them with the 318. And I'm going to slam that in there, and when it fails, I'm going to go home and watch YouTube. So that's the plan. It'd be real nice to cut a hole down through the converter. That'd be great.
I'm just looking at all that excess stuff you got going on there.
We got transmission fluid in our ear. We got it in our hair, in the garbage.
Probably got 2 gallons in there.
The ceiling's covered with it, and we have it airborne too from sucking it out with the air gun. There's transmission fluid everywhere. The EPA is just going to come and shut Dunbar down because there's just fluid. There's like a fluid cloud floating over the whole Fayette County. It's just all covered train fluid.
So the only thing those weights did was because you had, what, a bigger motor in there? That's the only reason why you need those weights?
Well, the 360 engine is externally balanced, which means they have balance plates on the torque converter, and it's got a counterweight on the harmonic balancer.
Oh,
now the 318s and most other ones are just all internally balanced. So that big heavy weight hanging off there would have threw that engine out of balance, and it would have shook, and it would have just wore stuff out, you know.
Oh, alrighty. I'll ask all the dumb questions, you know. I'll do the dummy book. That way people...
No, that's a pretty legitimate question, Mama. It's a pretty good one. What a day. All right, is it time to go home yet?
Raining outside, cold,
I've been, like...
and now the Connex 4 or 5 times.
The transmission out of there to the time we got to right here, it's been like hours trying to count these splines and...
Yeah, it's almost time to go home.
Yeah. Dang on it.
The baby wants to go home and watch Animal Channel.
She said she's tired. She will go home.
That's the spoiledest brat that I've ever raised in my life right there.
Hey, you had your scary movies last night. It's her night.
Mm-hmm. She just barks the whole time, like she tries to attack them. You know?
I know.
Why she want to watch them? She, like... Apparently she doesn't like the people on there.
What are you talking about? She barks at herself. Remember she jumped off the thing and you were like, Chevelle, that's you.
Going
That's
attacking the mirrors in the house and everything. Gee whiz. Emery and Ivory.
Look at you doing it right.
Take that rust off there for me.
Does that mean we're going to do it correctly and definitely accurate this time?
I'm going to do it until my wrist starts hurting too bad to do it anymore. And then we'll shove that transmission. Yeah.
Struggle bus.
I ride it every day, honey. Every day I'm on that sucker. Yeah?
I gotta quit being a window licker. Keep getting excited.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's in there, sweet mama.
Way to go, honey.
Dog.
Good job.
All right, give me a minute to collect my thoughts and celebrate, and I'll be right back.
Wait, are you going to the bathroom? Oh, what you got there?
Well, the beat goes on, you know. It's a good thing we checked. Thank God we didn't bolt this thing up in there and then try to put converter bolts in, and they didn't work because it's got the bigger flex plate. Yeah, it's like an 8-inch on center bolt as opposed to a 7-inch. So we're fortunate enough to find one out there in the Collinex that fits it.
Perfect.
So lucky us. Now we just gotta
Wire wheel and paint it.
smack that one off of there. Oh, she's not getting any special lovin's. No special lovin's tonight. No.
Moving on up.
Moving on up. All right, then. I'm gonna clean this up, take that off, put this on, put this in.
Choo. Ta-da.
Hey, before I got started, we got the new flex plate, and I bolted it to the flywheel. Reason being is it'll only screw on one way, you know. If you have this thing up in there and you don't have these lined up, you gotta like put a bolt or two in and turn it, and then it's off. So you gotta take the bolts back out, turn another turn until you get it right. So what I done was I got it to where all the bolts were lined up. Then I put some white paint marker that's going to correlate with the grind marks I got here. So whenever I bolt this in, put this up in, when I'm looking to bolt them up, I'll line, somebody's bleeding. Line the white up with the chrome, and now I got it. See, Mama?
He's a smart man. Oh, now what?
Well, that was a lot of work, was it not?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what we done.
all day event.
Tell you what we done. We put just like a couple of bolts and everything. There's 2 bell bolts in it, and the cross member bolts are just stuck in there. The shifter's not hooked up. We just put 2 bell bolts in it and a couple one starter bolt, and all the torque converter bolts. And we're going to try it. That way, if it's no good, we're already halfway out with it, you know.
Sounds logical.
Let's see if I can't spill this again. That'd be awesome.
No, it's not.
Fire in a hole, Mama. You ready?
Yep. Oh, I see a tire moving.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
This thing's out of gas.
Oh, thank God. Hurry, hurry.
I'm on it. It moves.
It's going to take off your head.
That thing look like you're ready to fly off of there.
I mean, look nuts on that thing.
Well, it's got them all, but one's stripped, and I like beat a screwdriver in there, put tension on it to get the strip one out, and it like bent the screwdriver, and it's not going to fall off. It don't look pretty, but it's fine.
So it's like the transmission, half bolted in.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Wow. This is probably yeah.
She's looking rough in here. It's been a long day.
This is more exciting than some of the wheel it runs.
It moved.
2-day process.
Hey, honey. How many times were you ready to just take that transmission out and throw it in the garbage?
What?
I'm not saying it's not garbage. I mean, but it moves now, you know?
Heck yeah. Better than trying that one.
Yeah,
We had to
that
lift
one
it
looks
everything.
pretty rough, you know? We'd had to beat new seals in it. We'd have definitely had to have new fluid at that point.
I'm just going to say we definitely would have had to lift it. I don't want to lift it.
Yeah, all that stuff too. But it's totally out of gas, which is fine. I think we can probably pick it up in the air and finish bolting it up. Think?
Okay.
All right, then. Yeah! Let's get her all buttoned up there, sweet mama.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we need something that we ain't got.
What's that? Money?
5 gallon of gas and the money to get it.
Oh, same thing.
That's probably where we're going to have to hang it up for tonight, sweet mama.
Chevelle. What are you doing, girly? She's looking for
Yeah,
a toy.
buddy, you ready to go?
Here we go. Bye-byes.
We're back at it, folks. We have just a little pinch of daylight left, which is a daily occurrence now. We get here on the afternoon shift, so.
It's more than usual.
Yep.
You can use
So
it up.
we want to try to use this daylight up, use some tires up, and a little bit of gas up. So, come on, girly. We got to go before it gets dark. Come on.
Oh, she's all excited.
Yes, buddy.
You're loving those sporty seats.
Oh, my hips.
What'd you do to the dog?
She is impressed. I think she needs a drink. She was just hooting and hollering in there, just loving every minute of it. Hey, not too bad for the first time since 3 of 87, right?
Yeah, not too bad for a couple lug nuts. And
Well,
about
need some
falling out.
irons worked out, and unfortunately, we're out of time this week to do all these things. But I don't think it's going to leave the lift until it's on 4 wheels with brakes. What do you think, Mama?
Exactly.
I got to drive it, and I got to drive it around the block, you know?
It's got to be complete.
But hey, first time ever I drove an A-body Barracuda. So I've been jonesing for all my life. So
Wow. So
Yep.
you got that all out of your system now.
check that right off.
Bucket list.
Off the bucket list, but not completely. Like I said, we're going to get this thing. We're going to take it around the block, and you're going to be here to join us, hopefully. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for sharing, and subscribing. And stop back.
Chevelle, you want to say bye, everybody? She's so glad to get out of there.
Girly, did you have fun? Huh? Did you? Hanging your tongue out the freaking car like Scooby-Doo. You're such a good girl.